Schmollers, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Franchise Schmanchise with the Police Academy franchise. We are here. I'm here. Well, we are both here,
Yes.
but I am here. Hi.
And you are...
oh, yes. I am me, and you are you. Congrats. I'm Jeff Bell,
am
back
me as
again as the host of this franchise.
Jeff
and
Bell,
joining
back
me
again.
If I could have a song, I would have a 90s
Rap?
or very much so a Backstreet Boys-esque Backstreet's Back All Right song.
Jeff Bell's back, all right?
All right. Yay. It's kind of actually very disappointing. Don't actually want to do that. No, but I am back here again, and joining me as always is, well, not as always, well, for this franchise, as always.
Yes. You better not replace me.
For part 2 of this franchise.
Right.
Of
Of the 7-part franchise.
Actually, would it be funnier if when Mahoney left, we replaced you with somebody else as the host?
Yes, but you pretended it was still me.
It's possible, but
No.
it's not you.
Hashtag no Mahone.
Hashtag no Mahone and hashtag no K.
Chris.
No K-Riss. Can we do
Yeah.
that? It is Chris Schultz. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Welcome back again. So yes, as we've already said, and as already as the title of the episode states, this is Police Academy 2. What is it? Their first assignment?
Their first assignment, which really isn't right.
No, not really, because technically
They all were working.
they were all working for the whole riot at the end of the first one, right?
Well, they're still in the police academy. They hadn't graduated yet in the first one, so I
Okay.
could see why. But
Oh.
it's not like they weren't doing anything until they got a call. I mean, Mahoney was working the beach patrol, and they were doing other...
That is true.
They're doing other things, like in the beginning of the movie when they all were together. So really, it's not an appropriate title.
It's more like another assignment.
Yes.
Or how about this?
Their first assignment, we're going to film.
Yes, the first, which is not even true, because really, as you just said, you see them doing all that other stuff. So technically, it's just like their first assignment as a group. And really, the whole police academy term doesn't make sense because they're not in the police academy anymore.
Nor is everybody that was in their class part of it.
No.
Your favorite guy is...
My favorite guy is,
Yes.
but
We're not talking about Mahoney.
Klutzy
Klutzy guy.
Oh my goodness! But he's definitely downplayed. He's not in it as much. That's the one thing I did notice with this.
Well, I think they all kind of were downplayed.
It's weird. It's weird. We have less characters, or in this particular movie. We're just getting into the conversation, right? We're not. There's nothing else we had to do for that opening.
No, I don't think so. I mean, this is your show ultimately. That kind of goes wherever.
That's true. That's the one thing we should discuss that because we knew coming into this one that there was obviously a character changes. There was some characters were no longer part of the franchise, or didn't carry over into this one. A couple of them do come back though later on, but primarily it's like we knew there was going to be a cast change up, and by changing the cast themselves and getting rid of some of those extra characters, it's kind of funny because they're all kind of not as over the top. They definitely still have their moments, but it's not just like in your face. So what is who are returning from Police Academy 1? Which characters are coming back?
We have Hooks back.
Right.
We have Tackleberry,
who actually kind of becomes like a more main predominant character.
Yep.
Which is kind of weird.
We have Jones, Michael Winslow's character.
Yep.
We obviously have Mahoney.
Yep.
We have Klutzy Officer.
That's true, which I'm spacing on his name. Was that Fackler?
Yeah, I think so. That sounds about right.
Sounds right, maybe.
And then the Bubba Smith character as well.
Yes. Which I love that. I love Hightower's character seemed to have. I even made this note. Like Bubba Smith actually. I don't want to say the word actually. That's not the right term. But because after the first film, he was very quiet. He was very kind of minimal. He didn't do a ton of acting. Except for the scene when he gets pissed and he flips the car over during the obstacle course. But this movie, this time around, he does a lot more acting and he's got a lot more lines, and he's actually kind of funnier than they had him be in the first film, and I like that.
So what's kind of funny is reading, after seeing this, there were a few cast members, and Bubba Smith was one of them, that had their lines minimized. And Bubba Smith in particular, because the director said he can't act.
Which I thought he acted pretty damn good, considering
Yeah.
he's not an actor. You know?
I mean, he was. Both. I mean, Hooks is very minimal.
Oh
in
yeah,
this.
I almost forget she's in it because
Yeah.
she's Dispatch, right?
Yeah, they make her. So let's give a little bit of premise of this extremely thin story.
Oh my goodness, you
This
thought
is-
the first one was thin.
This is so. It's the worst precinct in the city.
Yep. This nondescript city, by the way.
And in order to boost it, the police commissioner says, "We're going to give you more policemen here." The up and coming sergeant who wants to take over the precincts decides, you know what? It'd be better if they all bombed and we did terribly, so that crime could make the police chief look, or not the police chief, but the captain look bad,
Right.
so that I can be promoted to captain.
Yeah. Which is very cliche 80s
Very
bad
cliche,
guy.
yeah.
Like
Antagonist.
which and then the whole reason why it's the people that we know from Police Academy 1 that get brought over is because the police, is it the chief or is it, yeah, it's the chief, right? Of the district. It's
The captain.
Is it, or is it the captain?
Yeah, Captain Lassard.
Captain Lassard, which is not,
Or Commandant Eric. Captain Lassard.
because it's not the same Lassard from the first one,
They're brothers.
but they are brothers,
Yes.
and that's the whole connection. It's
They're
like,
brothers from the same mother and father.
they're full
Yeah.
brothers.
Which, I mean, I like Howard Hessman.
Yes, I was gonna say I enjoy Howard Hessman when he shows up in movies. He's very much so an '80s actor.
Yes.
I kind of did that whole thing where like I started scrolling through because I know him from WKRP and Cincinnati, and then he also shows up at the end of Clue. Like those are the two movies. Like that's two things that I know him from.
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's just-
Head of the Class.
Oh, Head of the Class. That's right. That's the man. Holy crap. That's a flashback. I haven't watched that in forever. But no, like that's what I saw. Those three things are what I know him as. And when he showed up, and I just started going through his IMDb, going, "Oh yeah, look at this. I know him from all this crap that I haven't seen." But yeah, it's a very thin plot. It's not a very well.
No.
What was the plot of the first one? Hire, get as many police people in here just to be, everything is equal, like
Yep.
equality. Okay, that's the entire plot.
So, and by the way, there are three cadets that will not return. They were only in the first one. Mm-hmm. There, you have Leslie Barbara.
Yep.
So the bigger guy had his win. You had George Martin, the guy that dressed up as a woman to
Yep.
sleep, and then of course, we no longer get to see the lovely, lovely Karen Thompson.
Who is she in it? Why am I spacing on her
It's
name?
your girl.
My girl?
Yeah, your girl.
Oh, sorry, Kim Cattrall. Yes,
Yeah.
I apologize. In my head, all I kept thinking about was Sergeant Callahan, but I know she comes back.
She comes back. She missed this because she
She was pregnant, I think,
yep.
right? Yeah, which is, and that's why it's hard. It's like, well, like they write off characters. I really wish they never gave an explanation as to why Karen Thomas never came back. Right? They
They don't talk about her.
just absolutely, like, she's a Bond girl at this point for Mahoney.
Yeah.
It's just like, nope, she's gone. That's it.
So
No-
okay, so let's talk a little bit about like Mahoney.
yes.
Um.
I do have a very positive comment regarding him.
Okay, why
in
don't you
this
go
film.
first?
My favorite part is once he dresses up, once he goes undercover. In my opinion, Mahoney undercover as the thug to try to infiltrate. Was it Zed? Is that his name? Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah.
Zed, to infiltrate his
Gang.
I loved Mahoney. Just over the top bad, gangster or like a thug acting.
Doing
just
bad things that
doing-
really aren't that bad.
exactly. Like I loved that. I thought that was so good. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. It does definitely. You can see this divergent from the original film where it was the ensemble film, and now we're becoming like, this is starting to be more of like Mahoney and Company. Like
Yes.
it's getting more that way. The
Yep.
fact that he's the one that goes undercover.
Well, yes, absolutely, and the fact that everybody else seemed to be more minimalized in this. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't. I think they lost some of the magic of the first film.
That is very true.
I mean, it's a thinner plot, but it's like it doesn't it doesn't seem as I mean, to say something is cohesive in the Police Academy franchise is kind of weird.
You have to lower the expectations a little bit, lower the bar a lot, and then go off of that.
So it just seemed less fluid. It just, I don't know. The writer of the first one and I don't think it was the same writer. It's definitely not the same director.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is directed by Jerry Paris. Jerry Paris, who's from Dick Van Dyke Show.
Oh.
He was the next door neighbor of Millie, Jerry and Millie, the dentist next door on the Dick Van Dyke Show. That's the same director. And he, unfortunately, I think he died like a very short time after the making of this film.
Okay.
But he was old anyways.
Right.
But yeah, definitely a different director from the first film.
And I think just taking away, because I think where the director of the first film wanted each actor to kind of get to know their character and develop their own character. This one is kind of like, okay, we know your character now. Mahoney's the fun one. We're going to focus on him. We're going to minimize everybody else.
Yep. Everybody else has a shtick that we will let them do once. You know, Hightower's imposing.
Hooks talks quiet until she said, "Don't move, dirtbag." Again, the same line.
Which actually that wasn't necessary or really forced for her to say. Like, she kind of just said it anyways.
Yeah.
You know, Jones did, was given a moment to fight. Mm-hmm. You know, okay, all right, and and like that's and then the only one that actually had any kind of like real character development was Tackleberry, because they introduced a new character into the film that they basically made as a love interest. So he was the only character that actually had some sort of evolution. You know, otherwise everybody else was pretty much the exact same character.
Yeah, absolutely, and this does qualify as an '80s movie.
Oh, yes, it does qualify as an 80s movie.
Right in the beginning, in the beach scene.
My fourth note. Yes, still meets 80s movie requirements by having the obligatory boob shot on the beach. Which is like, in real life, okay, so Mahoney is chasing after the dude in the pickup truck.
Driving on the beach.
Driving on the beach, and the two girls that are bathing topless, of course, like, bolt upright to see what's going on. I'm like, no one is going to do that in real life. But it's such an 80s like movie trope, and I'm like,
you have to do it. You have to do it.
So we knocked down from an R rating. We're at I think we're at a PG-13 rating.
The first one was the only one that was R.
Right. And it's like, nope, they still swear. They still have nudity. It's just not as much as the first one. The first one had a ton more nudity. But yeah, it's like, nope, still met 80s requirement. Still met 80s requirement.
I'll be interested to see if number 3 does.
I am always on a lookout for whether a movie makes the 80s movie requirements. Well, let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about Hightower's. Tackleberry's love interest. What is her character name? Kirkland. Let us talk briefly about her. What did you think about her? Do you think it's shoehorned? Do you think she's too
absolutely shoehorned?
It's like give somebody else a love interest,
right? Yep, I think it's too shoehorned. It's like, hey, she likes big guns as well, and she, it's if. I would say if Lethal Weapon, I think 4 with Rene Russo.
3 did it. 3. They introduced her, where she was literally Riggs's
right.
equal.
If that had come out first, I would say this is a parody of that.
Yeah, that's true. It's like they established, which is it's interesting to think like, so Mahoney was the guy that had the love interest in part 1. Part 2 comes around, and they gave that to Tackleberry, because Mahoney doesn't have a love interest in this. There's like no one. He's not even going after anybody. The closest you get is the lady who measures him in the shop, which, real quick sidebar, the fact that he takes the balloons, or he bribes the balloons from the little girl, and then uses them for a penis joke in front of that little girl is like, Mahoney, come on, have some more taste, bro. At least let the girl leave first before you do that with her balloons. Okay, back to the conversation at hand. Kirkland.
So, I don't know if they're trying to get Tackleberry to be more likable.
Do you think people thought he was just too...
Well, I think he's
unrelatable?
He's a one-dimensional... Like most of the characters here, except for Mahoney, he's one-dimensional.
So they were attempting to give the other characters...
to give him a little bit more, which, if I remember correctly, and again, it's been a long time since I've seen him, I don't believe that she is in any other films, because he, I believe, falls for the other... former instructor
who comes back.
Yeah,
And see, that's the thing I don't remember. But I mean, they're married by the end of this movie.
Right. They're married. So, like, what happens in number 3? Does she die or something? I don't know.
I don't remember. I just know that it's played by. I know we're gonna know soon enough. I just know that it's played by Colleen Camp, who is much like Kim Cattrall. Kim Cattrall, very much so 80s female staple. Colleen Camp keeps popping up in movies that I like. Most notably, she's Yvette from Clue. She's the French maid. Anyways, she's also in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh, really?
Yes, she is.
Now they're tied to the
exactly.
franchise. See, I think any franchise going forward, you need to tie it back
with a character that connects the franchises at some point together.
You're gonna be in trouble next time.
She's in Die Hard with a Vengeance. She's the blonde-haired cop in John's Precinct when the nerdy science guy like shows off the chemical mixing and he throws it and it blows up a chair next to her. She stops and she screams at him like, "If you don't be careful, you're gonna be wearing that chair or whatever as a hat." But that's her. It's the same. It's Colleen Camp. But anyways, completely random side tangent as per usual on this show.
I thought that whole romance thing was just shoehorned in because it's like Tackleberry didn't do much, and I don't know if it was just like they had stuff written for everybody, and then the actor said, "Well, I want to be back again," and they like, "Okay, we can work him in."
Right.
Because it's like it's not an essential character. I mean, it seems just like most of them. You're right. Like if you cut out all the other characters that you knew already and just focus on the Mahoney story, it's still a movie.
Right. Yeah, because all the other characters aren't absolutely necessary for the plot to keep going either. No. It comes down to Mahoney. Absolutely. And these other new cops that have been a part of the precinct, like the one that he ends up working with as a partnership.
Yep.
And, because even so, like Lessard from the first one is only in that, one scene when his brother calls him. Like, that's really it. Like, and also who else is missing? Lieutenant Harris is missing.
Yeah, well, and I want to get that. Let's compare Lieutenant Mauser with Lieutenant Harris.
You mean the same character?
The same character.
The actor who look very similar sound very similar.
and I'll just get this out of the way. Harris is in this movie.
Yes, he is. I saw that. I read that up. That he's the guest that's getting photographed during the wedding sequence.
Yeah, you only see the back of him.
Yep. Which I'm like, that's kind of cool. He still made it in the movie, but you don't know it's him. Well,
but let's compare. Mauser, sorry.
Yeah.
Versus the former.
Harris. Lieutenant Harris. Well, they both end up having a prank pulled on them that leaves them momentarily disfigured.
Yes.
On their head.
Yeah.
The shower sequence I do remember. I remember like that moment in the movie. I remember. I don't remember much of the rest of this film at all.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Like the fact like Bobcat Goldthwait showing up. We'll get there in a minute too. Like I forgot he was a bad guy. I completely forgot that. That was not in my head whatsoever. Anyways, but no, both Harris and Mauser, very much so the antagonist. Bad guy that doesn't want, really would, if he had his way, would rather not be dealing with these quote unquote slacker police officers. Also very, just kind of rude and wants, thinks he'll be better. He'll work his way up the ladder and becoming a higher up police officer.
Well, not work his way, just, fail the captain so that he'll get promoted.
Really? Is this movie the same plot as the first film?
It's close. It's close. I think in the first one, it was more, let's make the mayor look bad with this decision.
Right.
This one, it's, let's make all the people in this precinct suffer because of bad crime.
Which is so
that I get promoted.
So
it's a little bit worse, I think.
That's true.
The motivation's a little bit worse. She's not really taking his job seriously.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he's kind of just a dick cop. Like I don't know what this love of like making cops be utter dicks back in the 80s.
Well, the people in charge.
The people,
the middle,
higher ups.
middle management.
Yes, that is very true.
Because upper management was nice. It was middle management that were a-holes. And then the lower people, that was like Mahoney and all them, they were fine.
Because you always got that whole point where like the lower peons would always have to deal with the middle guys. The middle guys would always be the dicks. And then basically, ultimately, the higher ups would find out the middle guys were being dicks. And the middle guys would be like, oh no, I would like try to apologize. And then we're usually fired or something bad happened to the middle guys. And then because the uppers like loved the lowers.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. Yeah, over and over and over again.
But what happened? I mean, with both Lieutenant Harris and Mauser, they're ultimately not the bad guy in the end.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's no consequences. I mean, they don't get what they want.
Right.
So I guess that's a consequence, but they really don't. Mauser isn't promoted to captain.
Right. And ultimately, they don't really get a major comeuppance. They get kind of almost like slapped in the face to be just like, back to how, like, hey, okay, knock it off is almost kind of the mentality that happens, and then that's it. Like, that's as far as it goes. But, I mean, really, what would they have done? Like, what kind of comeuppance would they have even tried giving them that you would even be happy with that wouldn't feel like it's out of place for this type of movie?
Right. Well, and ultimately, I think they're
not
all
going to die.
Well, they're all on the same side.
Yeah.
They're all cops, right? So while their motivations may be to fail certain people or whatever,
right,
they're still cops. So when it comes against true crime, which is Bobcat's character, then that's where the focus needs to go, and so they do that.
That's true. That is true. And a good segue into...
I was trying to do that,
Thank you very much. Yeah. Into Mahoney's role in the... no, I mean, sorry. Into Bobcat Goldthwait's character. I did some reading on that, too, about like how he was not... the shop owner.
Yes.
He's a cop later on, right?
Yes.
He comes back in later
Citizens
ones.
He was also an SNL alumni.
Okay, is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was in the early 80s.
Oh, so he's from that era of SNL that nobody knows.
Well, it's Eddie Murphy era.
Yeah, when everybody was on SNL that's
Julia
like remotely
Louis-Dreyfus,
popular.
Joe Piscopo.
It's like, oh, wait a minute. That's the era nobody cares about or likes, and that's the era when all these big celebrities were on.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, wait a minute. How's this? It's like a weird black hole in SNL history. But no, I remember him from later films, and that's another topic I do want to hit on before the end of the episode. This weird introducing characters and then them coming back for later ones. We're coming back to that momentarily. But Bobcat Goldthwait showed up, and I was very happy. I was very excited. And then I went, oh, that's right. He's a bad guy. But in my head, I'm like, okay, so does he join the police squad like halfway through then? Like, and become a cop? Like, that was my my thought process. And so I was waiting for that to happen. And I'm watching, and I'm like, we're like 20 minutes away from the ending of this movie. I'm like, does it happen at the end? And I just thought that was a beginning plot point. But I'm like, oh, no, he's just the bad guy in this movie. And he's like, what is his character? What is he just like, is he supposed to be like the mentality of a child? Is he supposed to be like a child that's all grown up? Is that like, how do you read him?
I think he's just a delusional gang leader who just he's very childish and he's very much there's low. It's like what's motivating him in his crime spree?
Right. It's like it's a child's idea of what being a criminal bad guy would be.
Right.
Like he has a hideout that's a former zoo.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome, by the way.
I would do that. I would totally be in that gang.
All I got was visions of Penguin from Batman Returns and that. No, but like it's very much so that mentality. Like there's you have to question how is this remotely been successful for them? Like how have they gotten away with this when they all kind of seem to be that same like mentality? They all seem to kind of be very childish, like their whole thug. Sorry, that whole gang, very childish, very just like we're like they go to the fair and they cause problems, and he's what is it? He doesn't want to go on the Ferris wheel, or the merry-go-round because he'll get sick,
right?
But then he's like, but if you go on it with me, or will you go on it with me to one of his thugs? And he's like, yeah, and then he's like, okay, let's go, and like that mentality of it's really a kid.
So really, they're pretty much like the other cadets on the police academy.
Yes.
So that's why so easily he can come back and join them.
Yes.
on whichever one it is, Citizens on Patrol or whatever one that he becomes a cop.
He becomes a cop, and that's like now I'm looking forward to that. Again, this is what this is what this series is going to be for me, is me just trying to remember when things happened in the franchise.
Right.
But I liked him. I enjoyed it whenever he was on on film. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like the young Bobcat Goldthwait. He's funny, and I just loved listening to him talk when they go to the grocery store, and they're shopping basically, but they're also causing all this destruction. And they're on their way out, and he's like, "Thank you, I found lots of good bargains." Like I love it. It's so stupid, but it's so funny.
And the height of his comedy, like that character of his.
Yep.
This is the height. Like the Police Academy movies is really, he was already a stand-up comedian and all that, and this is kind of like his big step.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, and he takes it for all it's worth as the movies continue.
He at least in this one, he milks that character very to the extreme, but it still feels perfectly at home in the movie, in the world that they've created for it. It's like, all right, and I don't mind watching it. You don't just kind of like cringe going, dude, you're overacting or you're doing it too much. It's like, no, in this film series, you're okay.
Yeah, the way when Mahoney is dressed up and interacting with him, it's like,
it's like, oh, like they gave him they gave him the giant like Mr. Microphone
I know. Hey, once in a while picks up something at another station.
I'm like, it's not even like a real wire, but you don't.
Like, you forget how Mr. Microphone worked. So Mr. Microphone, for those of you that need to know,
I know
it was a 1980s technology that used radio frequency to send a microphone signal to a stereo or boom box, which was a portable radio. That tuned in the radio
now, by the way.
They tuned in a radio station.
Right.
And then you could sing into it and amplify your sound. That's what a Mr. Microphone was, and it had to be within like 5 feet.
Oh yeah.
Of the of the boombox. So there's no way that could be used as
like a wire,
as a wire or anything to pick it up. So that was pretty hilarious.
I had one from the mid '90s that I couldn't get from my stereo to the door of my bedroom without it just losing connection, and I'm like, the technology technically should have been better 10 years later after this movie, and no, it was still just as crappy.
I was the slobby cop who said, "Yeah, I modified it so it'll work."
Yeah, like no, first off, no, he did not.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's fitting for. That's still those aspects of the first one where it's that kind
ridiculousness.
Of ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's very heightened, and you don't take it serious. You don't, you're kind of just like, all right, whatever. This is above. This is kind of already over the top a bit.
Yep.
So having a giant, okay, first off, he doesn't need to keep the freaking foam part of the microphone still attached. That comes off.
What if there's a lot of wind and things?
Yes, because I'm sure that's what's.
You don't want to have a lot of p and all that sounds taking over.
Because buried inside of his clothes, he's not going to get the rustling of his jacket against the microphone the entire time. Oh, but I did enjoy. I liked Zed. I liked Bobcat Goldthwait's character, and I liked that they didn't kill him. Of course, this is the '80s, so '80s comedy, they never kill people. People just get seriously injured and then seem to be okay in the next shot. So, I mean,
by seriously injured, you mean like shot in the arm?
Like shot in the arm. And like the arm is perfectly usable the next day, except they might be a little sore.
Right.
You'll get the whole they go to raise their hand, they're like, ooh, ow, and that's the extent of it.
Yep.
Like they're fine, they're perfectly okay, no trauma, no consequences. Give them like a month, and then they're back to normal again. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm spacing on what it was now, so it doesn't matter.
I will say this: this is maybe the first or second movie for someone who was in Back to the Future.
Oh.
Do you know who?
Oh, you're really just digging deep into my archive.
I am.
So wait, rephrase that question. What do you mean?
So there's an actor in this movie that was also in Back to the Future, the first one.
In the first film.
Yep. Both came out around the same time. So either this or or Back to the Future was his first movie. I'll give you a big, huge hint.
Yeah.
He was also in The Wonder Years. That's a look of confusion right now.
I
you
don't
can't
know.
see this. We need to video cast
I
this. There's
don't
a look
know.
of Jason Hervey.
Who do you... Okay.
Jason Hervey played Kevin Arnold's older brother in The Wonder Years.
Okay.
He played the little boy, the rude boy in the car when the movie opens up. And Tackleberry says, right. He was also in Back to the Future. His line is, what's a rerun?
That's right, because he's Lorraine's brother.
Yep.
He's also the one of the bullies from Monster Squad. He's also he's one of those like quintessential like younger like high school bullies or school bullies. That's right.
Yep.
Wow, I forgot that he was Lorraine's brother. Damn. Okay.
Wow. I will be collecting all your Back to the Future stuff because you don't deserve it anymore.
Please take my collection because of the character who has one line in the 3-part franchise.
So everyone look for it on eBay.
You're not taking my artwork. This is my artwork.
No, sorry, it's all gone. You lost the right to it
because I didn't remember him. Oh my goodness! First off, Tackleberry does definitely bust the window or shoots out the window of the car.
Which is a good way to go. Yeah, good way.
The lady's perfectly okay with this. Like, she seems to be fine. That's a little awkward. So let's there was a real quick side note. I really enjoyed that the Blue Oyster Bar showed back up again.
It did. It's not as prominent as the first one,
but it is very much so still there. It's still a gag in this movie and does definitely take place. I do have one other quick thing. So we're about a half hour into this. One other quick thing that I want to ask your opinion on.
Yes.
What city do you think this is supposed to be?
I would guess L.A.
You kind of think it's supposed to be like an L.A. because it's like bad crime and there's a beach
or a Miami.
Well, they do Mission like
right.
Miami.
So that it can't be Miami,
right.
But I'm guessing like an L.A. or a California city.
So the first one, and they never actually state where it's at. The first one filmed in Canada. The city was all in Canada. This one they did in fact film in L.A. Like. They filmed it in Los Angeles, so it probably is supposed to be L.A. They specifically never say. Like, there's never like even in the beginning during the opening prologue title thing when they were describing or like I say in the first one, like when they were describing what the situation was and why people were being hired, it was just that the mayor of the city. Do you think it matters at all that where the city? Like, there's nothing that's really like going, oh, this needs to be LA cops or this needs to be Chicago police officers. Right?
Yeah, I don't think it makes any difference at all. It's just, It
was just kind of interesting that they left it very nondescript. They never bothered telling it. But again, there's no reason to, I suppose.
No.
The skyline is always a very nondescript city skyline.
This way you can make it feel like it's your city.
Exactly. I don't know if I'd want that. So, and then one last thing I do want to talk about briefly, because I know it starts getting more and more as we go along. Because we kind of briefly touched on this in the first film or the first episode of this franchise. Do you think it was a conscious decision to, and I'm giving the writers way more credit, I feel, than I probably should. But do you think it was a conscious decision to introduce characters in one movie as very minor characters and then bring them back in a next one as a more predominant character? So, for example, like Klutzy Guy, Klutzy McClutster, it was really hard for me to say that, shows up in the first film with his wife. Well, then his wife comes back in a couple movies and then is a more predominant character at the Academy. This movie introduces obviously Zed, which we know comes back as a police officer in a future one. That's Bobcat Goldthwait. Also, Kirkland's father and older brother, I believe, or at least the father, because they're the ones that are fighting.
Yep.
I believe they come back in a future movie too, as cadets. I swear that was a thing. I don't remember which one. Now I need, I got to look it up.
That could be a No Mahone.
Was that when they became the
more prominent,
more predominant? I need to look that up just to verify. I should have looked that up before we started talking about this. But I just, do you think that was something that they might have done on purpose? Old man Kirkland.
I think I'm going to say they had probably a small troop of people that they worked with. You know, like kind of like some of our films that we do,
Right.
Like we have a small troop of people that we pull from, and I'm thinking it's the same thing. And maybe these are other writers or comedians or whatever in the LA or wherever they're filming area.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just pulled them, and the people were having fun. I'm guessing these are a lot of fun to film.
They don't look like they were taken very seriously.
No.
It kind of looked like they did maybe 1 or 2 takes a time, and as long as nobody really royally screwed up their lines,
Right.
you just get the general gist across. Also, yes, Mr. Kirkland shows up in 3, 4, and 6. So I did remember that correctly. But so it's you just think it's more along the lines of just. No, they run with it, and maybe maybe it's all based upon like the way people respond. You know, maybe it was like a combination of, well, did you have fun? Like, yeah, okay, that was fun having that actor around for that character, and well, hey, that character could be kind of interesting to like bring back because it seems like audiences really kind of liked him. You know, oh, they liked Kirkland's dad and older brother because they were kind of goofball characters. Well, they would fit perfectly in the future. And well, Zed's really goofy and everybody really kind of liked him. And well, we can't bring him back as another thug, but what if he's trying to like redo his life or something along those lines, and that's what he's doing now is he's trying to be a police officer to make himself better, or you know, some excuse like that. So you think it was just more along the lines of just because?
Yeah, just because.
No
I
real
think,
reason.
And it's easier to not create new characters necessarily.
come up with
You're
somebody
introducing like what, Sweet Chuck or whatever. What's his name?
For what?
The shop owner.
Oh yeah, Sweet Chuck. Which
So-
yeah, were you going to say that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say that they had trouble pronouncing what the name was supposed to be, so they just changed it to Sweet Chuck. Although the sign still had the old name on it.
Exactly. All right, so let's get to the point in the episode as we always discuss. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk regarding the movie before we kind of start going into our final thoughts?
No, go ahead.
Well, what did you think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you like it more than the first one? Did you like it less than the first one, or equal?
I liked it less than the first one.
Okay.
I don't think it was as funny. I think going away from the ensemble storytelling to all the other characters are minor except for Mahoney, and that's the storyline that we're following.
Okay.
I liked it a lot better when everyone had their moment in the sun, so to speak, of the first one.
In a moment in the sun that was valid for the characters and the plot to kind of keep moving forward a little bit with whatever plot there is.
Yes.
Whereas this one, very much so, like when Michael Winslow's character has his fighting scene, which, by the way, I will say I've always liked it when he's done his bad lip dubbing or his bad voice dubbing.
Yes.
Bit. Like, that's always been funny to me. Ever since a kid, I always thought that was hilarious. And I still thought it was funny. But it was very much so, like we discussed earlier, they gave the characters that were still there a moment of a gag. And then, all right, whatever, moving on. It's still the Mahoney story. Well, this one, the Mahoney and Tackleberry story. So yeah, you liked it less. It wasn't bad. You didn't hate it, right?
I didn't hate it.
Or did you hate it? By all means, you can hate a movie. It's perfectly okay.
No, I didn't. I didn't hate it. It's just I did not like it. So if the first one was an 8, this would have been like a 6.
Okay, and I will definitely agree with you on that one. I feel like the first one had more laughs in it. I laughed at it more than this one, and yeah, you can definitely see that the characters are already becoming very two-dimensional.
Yeah.
One-dimensional at this point,
Yeah.
because they are already 2D. They were 2D in the first film.
Right.
Oh boy, the next film they are a point in space. Actually, I think that's what 1D is. Anyways, but the two parts, like I said, the two things that I actually enjoyed the most would have been whenever Zed was on camera, and then just the few moments of Mahoney, like when Mahoney's beating the crap out of like the telephone booth to get like the thugs to think he's
To
a
respect
thug.
him, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
like,
a bad guy. He
yeah.
beats up a telephone booth.
I'm like, okay, that's funny. Like I liked that moment. I laughed at that moment.
It's very cartoon humorish.
Yes.
Like, right? Like,
It's very much so is like borderlining on adult Looney Tunes
Yeah.
in some spots, like without as much of the laughs, unfortunately. I will agree. Like I liked it. It just it's definitely not as good as the first one, and I don't know if this is going to be a gradual like. Well, the third one was okay compared to the second one, which was good.
There's still this one joke that I'm waiting for that I remember from the series. I'm not going to talk about it here because it hasn't been played yet.
All right. Well, when it gets played,
I'm going to get excited because like I remember that joke. I loved that as a kid.
I'm looking forward to seeing if I can predict what that joke is, because that'd be awesome if I could.
Yes.
All right. Well, so we're kind of on the same page about it. It's an okay movie. Would you watch this one again? Like. So far, I mean, we're only 2 of these movies in, and I know there's later ones that be like, nope, never watching this one again. I'm assuming, though, right now that, like, much like the Die Hard films, like, if given the choice between watching Die Hard 1 and 2, I would always put it 1. Would that be the case for Police Academy 2? Or Police Academy as well at the moment? Like, given the choice between 1 and 2, you'd put on 1 again?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely, yeah. That's not even... It's not even a question, really.
So then here comes the penultimate question. Is that it? That's
word.
Right. That's a word that people say.
The ultimate, the penultimate.
The penultimate? That's a thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a more complex way to spell ultimate. Yeah, go ahead.
I always think the penultimate is like the final ultimate.
The final countdown?
Yeah, this could be Europe. So the final, the ultimate question would be, do you think this film deserved a sequel?
I'm going to say no.
Walking out of the theater right now, you just saw this and you'd be like, I'm good.
It's good. Yeah, I don't need to see another one.
Okay. Any particular reason why? Just because it was not as good as the first one? And
it's like they took aspects of the first one and they didn't expand on it. The writers, they really, again... It's like you're boiling down each character to their essence, really, their 1 or 2 traits, and you're just letting those shine. You're not letting anyone grow except for Mahoney. So it got away from what it originally was and became, kind of like the worst way to go. Like now it's just like, Flanders saying "hi diddly ho" every time you see him on screen. It's like that recurring joke,
right?
And it's like that gets
you already
tiring.
did that joke. Okay,
yeah, it gets tiring.
Like, haha, it's not even funny anymore. Well, you got to stop it. Okay. I can definitely see that. I can agree with you in the sense of like, yeah, you saw this and you're like, all right. The only way that I would want a sequel, because I started thinking about this, because I would worry that it would definitely, having seen many 80s franchises, I'm looking at you, horror franchises, they really do just rehash the same thing for a couple movies before they attempt to try to do anything different. I would only want to see a sequel to this if the next one kind of got back to, or maybe it went like, what did I make? I made notes. Like, what if it was like, went the route of like a Bond film? And I know this is very cliche nowadays, but like, all right, well, what happens if they all get thrown out? I don't remember if this is actually one of the plots of the future films. I think it is, but which is why I'm like, this is what the sequel should be, and I'm actually describing part 3. But like, what happens if like they're all stripped of their policemanship, but it's like a wrongfully stripped, like something happened and they're blamed for it, but they're not what they're, so then they have to figure out and actually, quote unquote, like solve the case themselves in order to get back. Like, that'd be the only way that they could go, but that even starts getting too drama action-y plot line.
Yeah.
It would still work in a comedy movie by all means.
Sounds like a little bit too deep for this franchise.
And is it? Do you think it'd be? See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the only way that
it took you more than 2 sentences to say it.
That's right. So, because what is describe part 1? City needs more cops. Hire anybody.
Yep. Hire anybody. Make them fail.
Part 2 is district gets new cops.
Make them fail.
To make them fail. And they prove them wrong. Yes. Both times. My plot point was like, well, what happens if this point happens? And then after point A, because of that, point B occurred. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I don't know. I would be okay with this being the last one because it was an original concept, quote unquote, kind of like for part 1, and then part 2 was just, oh, okay.
Same thing. So if there was to be a part 3.
Yes.
And again, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, I have no idea what happens to part 3.
it needs to kind of, it needs to go back to what worked in the original formula. Go back to that ensemble, go back to introducing characters and creating stories for each of the characters and not just focus on Mahoney. And I never cared for Tackleberry in these movies. He just had the big guns. That was his big thing.
Yep. But
it's not like he was a great character in it, like he wasn't funny. He wasn't, so let's focus on him. And I'd rather see more focus on the Bubba Smith, on Hightower. I'd rather see more on Jones and the other characters that seem more interesting than Tackleberry.
Right. Good point. Knowing what I know from most trilogies, at least for 3-part franchises in the 80s and the early 90s, you have part 1, which was kind of that's new, that's original, does really well. Part 2 comes along, hey, we're going to
do the same thing.
Basically do the same thing over again. Haha, it's funny, right? No, nobody likes this? Okay, crap. Part 3, let's change it up again. Or for like the Die Hard franchise... actually, no, that's how the Die Hard franchise kind of worked, more or less, was they tried taking what worked in the first one, and in part 2, they tried kind of going more in that way, but not really ever giving more depth to any of the characters, and it failed. And then part 3 came along, where they kind of went back to what worked in part 1, but then found ways to make the story work, which I think is what happens in part 3. Because Police Academy 3... Back in Training is what the next movie is going to be on this. So I feel like they probably did that. They're like, let's go back. Let's actually go back to the Police Academy. How about that, guys? Let's do that. Let's bring back the characters that everybody kind of liked and the world everybody liked, and let's go that direction for a little bit. So... yeah, so was there any other final thoughts? We're kidding about the mark that we hit for the last episode. It's a comedy. It's so hard to dive into deeply.
I'm honestly surprised that we have gone for 46 minutes.
46 minutes?
Yeah, I thought this would be like a 20-minute.
They're getting less. They're getting shorter and shorter each episode.
So, and maybe one thing we can do, like in the next ones, is like, what would we have done differently?
Okay.
We kind of did this for this one, but I have the feeling that, yes, we've seen the peak.
Yeah, and we are already on the downhill. I think we might hit we might hit a little bump to kind of come back up a little bit, like a minor null, if you will.
But we're never going to reach the peak again,
because the concept is not really designed for as many entries in this franchise as we already have. So they're really going to have to find new ways to shake things up and change things in order for it to ever kind of go back uphill again.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was still fun seeing some of the characters come back, and they had their moments, and those were great, and they introduced new characters, but
yeah,
it was just, I will agree, not as good as the first one. So, so next time, we'll be back next time for Police Academy 3 Back in Training, which is going to be very exciting.
I can only imagine.
Made the year after this one, so
I'm still not looking forward to the movies past 4.
After the hashtag No Mahone?
Yeah, hashtag No Mahone.
Yep.
It's I can't imagine how bad these are going to get.
Oh, they're going to be so fantastically horrible.
Ugh.
We are going to be, like right now, we're actually picking out, we were talking about a lot of good things.
Yes.
We haven't really tackled a lot of any bad things, because there's nothing like, they all had this, there was some just weird, like whatever. But there was nothing like, holy crap, we need to have a conversation about this thing.
Right.
Which I really feel like is going to start happening around the 4th one.
Probably.
I know Mahoney's still in it, but I really feel like something's going to happen in that 4th one. That's this is why he's not in them anymore.
I remember the jet ski fight.
Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, we'll get to that. We will get to that. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so yes, any final plugs, any final things you'd like to say? Anything about the movie? Are you good? You good for part 2?
I'm good on part 2.
Good for part 2. Yep. All right, so then we'll do our final outro bits. Anything you want to plug regarding you?
The Rewatchmen, first of all.
Yes. We actually just did another one.
We actually did another one.
I'm on 2 of them now.
Right. So check that out. There's a lot of podcasts about movies and a lot of movie reviews, and there's going to be a lot more coming out soon, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. There is Firmament Films, the film group, and Ghost Hat Films, the other film group that I've worked with.
We do all sorts of fun things.
Right. And then Podcast Mania, which is around horror films. Horror films.
I'm going to keep saying that every time.
I know.
Horror. I just want to make sure people don't get the wrong idea.
They sound very similar.
They do sound very similar. I'm not going to make that comment. I had another comment there I was going to say, and I didn't say it. Okay, so is that...
yeah, that's it. Those are
cool.
3 plugs. Yeah, go ahead.
Fantastic. Well, obviously, everybody who knows me can find me on Twitter at the Rand. I do that every time. Yeah, on Twitter. Can people follow you on Twitter?
Yes,
Does it matter?
at Badger Colfax.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
At Badger Colfax.
At Badger Colfax.
Yes.
People can find me at Random Bell, as well as obviously this podcast. This podcast is officially working on Google Play, except for the last Die Hard episode. For some reason, that one is still saying it's 13 minutes. That's weird. It's not 13 minutes long.
It's 14.
It's 14. It's that extra minute, guys. That's when we say whether it deserved a sequel. Oh my goodness. And that's the one that's the worst. But that's the one that's the most fun to listen to because we just bash the movie the entire time. But yeah, this podcast is now on Google Play. So definitely, if you have Droid devices and you wish to subscribe, please go over there and do it now. Also, I think you can leave comments and notes and stuff and rates on there too. If you can, go ahead and do it. That's awesome. We'd love more people to do that. Also, over on the Facebook.
I liked it.
You did like it. That's great.
Yeah.
I have not because I don't own a Droid. That's why I keep asking you, can you check it to see if it's working now? Because I'm too lazy to download the app on my phone. Also go over, make sure, words are hard when you talk like me. Be sure to go over onto the Facebook page if you guys aren't already liking that page, because that's where you'll know when the new episodes go up. If you have not subscribed to us, we'll post on there. Got a whole bunch of new people actually like the page recently, which is very exciting. So
very exciting.
We're always open to communication. If you guys have any comments regarding the movies, please feel free to leave them in the comments section on the Facebook page, and I always try to respond back to most of them if I can.
Yeah.
So, with that, that's all that's going on right now. We'll be back next time for really. We're going out each time with this piece of music.
I think so. It's the theme. It's what holds these episodes together.
I could just digitally add this later, right? I can do that.
I like this because then we can react to it.
We're not letting this song go the entire time. It also was really loud last episode. All right, well, with that, I'm going to say goodbye and slowly fade this out.
I will also say goodbye and talk slowly so that it lasts longer on your fade out.
You fading out and the music not fading out doesn't work.
What? That's how it's done. Magic of radio, right?
Yes, radio. Goodbye, everybody. See you guys next time. This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.